Hey there, gang. Time for another comic book unboxing. I'm here, you're here, Joker's here, we're all here. And we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. We were in the middle of a box when we cut for time, and so we're going to pick up right where we left off. If you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Buffy. Welcome to Shanghalla. My name is Duke, and this is an unboxing video. And so, yeah, that box yesterday was a pretty good box. We started off with some Silver Age Marvel, and then we transitioned into some kind of Copper Chrome Age Batman. And I think that's where we were going to pick up today. We had left off. We still had some Bat books in there. I think before we're done here today, we're going to see some older 1950s Uranium Age books. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see what we see. I will leave a description. I will leave a description. I don't know what I'm saying. I'll leave a comment in the description, which will in and of itself be a sort of description. So I guess I was right the first time. I'll leave a comment. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's late. I'm filming this kind of in the middle of the night, and I have no idea what I'm even saying. Come for the comic books, stay for the high quality production values. But I'm not cutting. I'm just going to suck it up and drive on, by gory. And what was I saying? I will leave a link in the description below for the first half of this box, which will be an easy way for you to find it if you're interested in seeing what else was in this box. We're going to pick up, like I said, where we left off yesterday. And if you have never seen one of these videos before, didn't just miss yesterday's video, but have never been here before, I work for a company that buys and sells comic books online. My job is to grade the books that we sell on eBay. The seller name is .com Comics. So if you ever buy what we call a raw single, a one-book lot from us, and you don't like the grade, about a 90% chance I'm the fellow you're mad at. But yeah, you know, these the books are put into these boxes from the collections that we buy from all over the country, all over the world. Books are sorted into different sales streams depending on what they are. And the books that are sold as raw singles that are destined for that sales stream, they end up on my desk for grading. And I never know what's in the box until it comes my way. And I never peek at what's in the box until you are here and we share that sense of awe and discovery together. So I think maybe I've got my act together now, and let's pick up where we left off. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the groovy things. And we saw some from this particular series yesterday, or yesterday your time, about 90 seconds ago my time. And it's part of the Year One story, very popular. Here is not only part of the death in the family, but the actual death. The death of Jason Todd right there. And this is, I believe, this is the first appearance of Tim Drake in costume as Robin. And there is another one for you. And here's where he kind of officially took over. And no, is this? No, yeah. I always lose track. No, so this is Jason Todd. That's Tim Drake. And this is what I think of as Jason Todd V2. I liked Jason Todd's first go-round, but then after the Crisis on Infinite Earths, they completely changed his character, starting with this one. Changed him from being kind of a clone of Dick Grayson with a circus acrobat background, and they made him just kind of a street thug. This cover's awful, though. I've always hated this cover. I hated what they did with Jason Todd, and to this day, I can't stand Jason Todd because of how they changed the character here. Starting with this issue written by Max Allan Collins, but this cover's awful. Batman, that bat body would not fit in this car. This is like taking one of my Mego action figures like the Joker here and trying to stuff him in a matchbox. And then this little thing here, is he 5? Is he 6? He's still got kind of adult proportions, even though he's some people just can't draw kids. And that's one of the things, you say what you want about Neil Adams and how great his artwork was or how bad his storytelling was as far as panel-to-panel transitions. But that guy could draw children that were believably children, both in interiors and the early 70s on the covers to House of Mystery and things like that. He could definitely do it. Batman Killing Joke, classic book. This is looking like a first printing here with the green, but you always want to look inside the front cover and see what you've got. There's another dead Robin. This is Prelude to Dead Robin. This one we've seen already. There's the very popular Todd McFarlane run on Batman Year 2 with the cape from hell, the cape that definitely would have got Batman killed if he tried to wear it IRL. And here's Darkhawk. Remember about, I don't know, was it 2 or 3 years ago when Darkhawk took off? There was speculation, I guess, that he was going to appear in an MCU film or something. And the first issue, like, took off like a rocket. And it's pretty much settled back down. But still, there are still people who swear Darkhawk's a thing. I will be surprised. Now, when we sell and the regulars know this, you newbies, so you're hearing it for the first time, but when we sell a book on eBay, whether it's a multi-book lot or a single issue, we try to get $10 for each item. And so, you know, if I didn't think this would bring $10 all by itself, I would stick it into a multi-book lot to try and make sure that price did get around $10. But I don't know. It's getting so I really can't tell anymore. And I'll be surprised to see how that does. Well, no, I'll be interested to see how it does. I'll be surprised if it gets over $10. I'm predicting maybe 8 or 9. Here is Tales of the Teen Titans number 44, much coveted for the origin of Jericho. No. Much coveted for the very fey, soy-infused Nightwing costume here. Although his regular Nightwing costume, the one that he would go on to wear for many, many years, the one he currently wears, is really kind of plain, almost too plain for my taste. But this one was a little foofy. This was a very metrosexual kind of a thing. Oh, X-Men number 4, first appearance of Omega Red. And this one's actually not going to be sold as a single. I will put this in our stash for our upcoming mystery box series. It's looking like February is going to be an Xbox month, and we'll be doing a mystery box with all X-Men and X-Men related books. So look for that coming in the near future, but I'm going to set that aside to go in one of those boxes. Avengers number 113, that's nice. Kamandi number 1. I'm only about 4 or 5 issues away from completing my Kamandi collection. I'm looking forward to that. Shazam number 8. A 100-page super spectacular and in pretty super spectacular condition. That should do very well on eBay. Prez number 1, kind of a goofy book. There's another Prez number 1, and yet another Prez number 1. Now, of course, we will, and yet another. So that's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. 6 Prez number 1s for you. If you don't know, Prez only lasted 4 issues. It was by Joe Simon, I believe, and it was about it was a comic book series about violating the Constitution. It was the first teenage president, and it was just as replete with all of the cringe-inducing dialogue that you might expect of an early 70s book written in hipster, hippie dialogue by a middle-aged white guy. I can tell you, those 6 issues are probably as many as this as I've ever seen in one place at one time ever anyway. And they were all nice condition. They almost look like they are uncirculated. But I have this series completed. But my copy of number 1 is nowhere near as nice as these. But yeah, teenage, and of course, the Constitution says you got to be at least 35 to be president. I don't know if I remember how they explained that the teenager got to be president, other than just comic books, and so we said. Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Werewolf, nice. Batman number 250. Shazam number 1, we just saw number 8. There's number 1. This was one of the early speculator books as the comic book fan market, back issue market started to really take off here in the late 60s, early 70s. There was a great deal of anticipation about the original Captain Marvel coming back. Of course, this was probably pushing it anyway. They had to call the character Shazam because by this time, the Big Red Cheese had been out of print for several years, and so Marvel jumped on the Captain Marvel name to claim that trademark. So they had to change the name to Shazam. And yeah, there was a lot of anticipation for this book, almost like Howard the Duck levels of speculator interest. And so a lot of these books sold, and then not a lot of them resold. And Of course, one of the big whoop was that one of the original artists, C.C. Beck, had come back, but it was just his style was very dated by this time. And really, other than the Power of Shazam series by Jerry Ordway, DC's just never really got a handle on how to do Shazam, how to do the Captain Marvel. Even with the movie and the latest takes by Jeff Johns, it doesn't have the whimsy. Even the Jeff Smith series, the Monster Society of Evil, still kind of missed the mark. Maybe it can't be done. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think a Captain Marvel series can actually even be done these days? Here's Amazing Spider-Man 123 with Power Man, Sweet Christmas. Some more Avengers, number 112. Back to Batman with a William Kaluta cover, number 248. And we're starting to get into those older books. Let's see what we've got here. A couple more Bronze Ages and then we'll be into it. Captain Marvel number 27 with the Collector, Star Fox, Super Skrull. This one has it all. Aunt Gwen and Doc Ock get married, 131. Hammerhead versus the Spider-Mobile, number 130. Detective Comics number 435 with the Spook. Spook made a lot of appearances about this time. Now there are 2 books in here. Yes, there are. 436. So now we're getting to the old stuff. Look at this. Archie's rival Reggie. Look at that Archie. That is way off model for what you would expect today. I mean, you can tell who everyone is, but that's just such a different style, isn't it? Huh. Pep Comics number 83. Does this have any? I guess this is probably all Archie by this point. I was kind of wondering if there would be any superheroes or anything in here. 1951, probably not. Yeah, this is looking all Archie and Little Jinx and Katie Keene. And that's probably, is that Candy? No, it's Wilbur. Wilbur? Nope, different Wilbur. Black Magic. Oh, holy crap. Oh, no. I thought that was number 1, but it's November, 10 cents. But this is an early issue with some Jack Kirby artwork. That's nice. Here's some more Black Magic. And the problem with Black Magic is, and I'll show you the indicia here. We'll take a look at the splash page. But they did, see, this is volume 2, number 1. So that's probably actually like issue 13. If you go to all the price guides, they'll give the actual numbering, but in the books, it's all done in volume issue numbers. Here's Batman versus Lumberjacks on skis. I bet you Robin's cold. Yes, indeed I do. And look at that. They don't even have any poles. Look at those freaks. What issue is this? 78. Batman number 78. That's pretty neat. Here's Detective Comics number 148. The Experiments of Professor Zero. Huh. Bugs Bunny. And this is actually, I think this is a 4-color book. Now, 4-color number, says say 258. It's hard to read the black number on the blue background. Men in Action. This is an Atlas book. Atlas, as you probably know, is the form that Marvel took in the 50s. Atlas was actually not the name of the company, although we call it Atlas Comics today, but that was the name of the distributor. So this is not a company brand so much as it is a distributor mark. Roy Rogers holy crap, number 1. Holy crap-a-noli. Boy, that is some fade shirt there, Roy. And Ray's got kind of a fade pose, too. Hey, not that there's anything wrong with that. Oh, my God, though. Roy Rogers Comics number 1. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. House of Mystery, an early, number 7. Wow, a way early issue. Look at that. House of Mystery, number 7. Haunt of Fear, an EC book. I don't see many EC books in the wild. Even though, you know, I open up a box like this every day, 2 or 3 of them. Don't see that many actual EC books. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we've got here. Nightmare. Nightmare with, what do they call the woman who's carved into the bow of the ship? I think it has a name, that motif. I don't know. You'll have to tell me if I'm right and that is a thing and I'm just forgetting the name of what that decorative element is called, or if I'm just making things up. Suspense. I think this is a Marvel book too. Although it doesn't have the Atlas logo. Might have been a little before the Atlas logos, maybe. Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge. Kind of rough shape. Web of Mystery, Ace Comics. Huh. A Cro-Magnon Man. What? Gene Autry. But this is actually a 4-color comic, and here's why we call it 4-color comics, because it was, as you may know, a series of one-shots. Every issue was a different character, and in the indicia, it would have been branded as if this was, what is it, 93. This would have every appearance of being, Gene Autry number 93, as if there had been 92 previous issues. But no, each issue started a different character, and so fans early on, when they started, developing price guides and catalogs and things like that, they took the, so that they didn't have, because this series went 1,300 issues, and so you didn't have 1,300 listings. They grouped them all together and called it 4-color comics because some of the early issues said on them 4-color comic. And really all that means is that it's not black and white, that it is indeed, well, we call it full color, but it's full color made with different shadings of the 4 primary colors. And here is Lone Ranger before Clayton Moore came along, so he's dressed as he would have been in the radio show days before he got that visual iconography. Tonto looks as we would expect him to be, but during this period, the Lone Ranger tended to wear a red shirt rather than that blue jumpsuit that we are more used to. And here again it does say 4-color comic. Lone Ranger. Now this one is an actual Lone Ranger. What issue number is this? It looks very early. Lone Ranger number 2. What year is it? 1950. Oh, 1948. 1948. It's fun to imagine how this would have looked, new, without the spine roll or any of the creases or soiling, with the cover still, all of its luster and sparkling. That would have caught your attention on the newsstand, I'm sure. But yeah, this is the actual Lone Ranger. So what would happen is generally, a character would get a tryout in 4-color, 1, 2, 3, 4 issues, never sequential. It's not like they do like 4 issues of Lone Ranger, then 4 issues of something else. The Lone Ranger would get like, 4 issues spread over a period of 20 issues or so. The other thing about 4-color is the issue numbers did not always come out in the order they were numbered. Those are sort of like assignment numbers. So you might get number 102 on the stands before 98, for example. But anyway, if a character proved popular after 4 or 5 tryouts in 4-color, he or she might get his or her or their own book, as happened with the Lone Ranger. Battlefield, here's another Marvel book, an Atlas book. Very nice. Challenge of the Unknown, not the Challengers of the Unknown, but just the Challenge of the Unknown. Look at this. The whole top part of this has been kind of chewed away. That's kind of unfortunate. Somebody's dog ate his homework, huh? But that's kind of a creepy cover. That's cool. This ID down here stands for Independent Distributors. So that was kind of the blanket conglomeration umbrella for all of the different regional distributors, national and regional. This is another Ace book, by the way. Fightin' Marines. Cool. What number is this? I just graded a Fightin' Marines. This is a Charlton book, by the way. Oh, no, this is St. John's. I graded yesterday in a box that, again, I didn't film. Unfortunately, wish I had. But Fightin' Marines, it was number 14. And that was a Charlton book. And Fightin' Marines went all the way into the 80s. I remember Fightin' Marines from when I was a kid. But here is actual issue 4, and it started out at St. John. Jumbo Comics, and there is Sheena. I sometimes get my Sheenas mixed up with my Shaynas, but Shayna is the glorious redhead, the ginger, and Sheena is the blonde. Both leopard skin wearing buxom jungle goddesses. And that is a Fiction House magazine. And we're looking like we're at the last stack for this box. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's see what we've got here as we close out. Close out with a quality comic book. Ken Shannon, Crime-Busting Private Eye. Huh. And look at this. He's got a little fugitive action going on there. Oh no. What a desperate look on his face. Back during the high pants, short tie period of men's fashion. Millie the model and an early Millie, number 19. Kind of rough on the spine there. And boy, that staple's rusted clean through. But here it is, see? Briefly during the Golden Age, Marvel Comics did actually say Marvel Comics. Mysterious Stories. What is this? A premiere comic. And you can see that it's trying to make their little logo look like an EC logo. They're trying to fool people. Can't fool me. I am much too clever. Much too clever for you. Spy Cases. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Is this an Ace book as well? Might be. From the same collection. Somebody's dog always liked the top right corner of the book. That must be the most flavorful part of the book. You know, you've got the best cuts of a cow or pork. I guess the top right must be the tastiest portion of a comic book. T-Man. T-Man. What was T? A T was like a G-Man. A G-Man, of course, was an FBI agent. What was a T-Man? I'll have to... Oh, it's a Hitler cover. I just noticed that. Look at that. Oh, it's a double Hitler cover. Here's how he looked, and now he's coming back to life. Oh, I don't know. It's the man who could be Hitler. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. This is pretty amazing. Gotta, Krasinski could play him too, not just Reed Richards. That's got a very Krasinski look. I don't know what made me think of that. I have to look up, though. Maybe it's a troubleshooter is what a T-Man is. A T-Man is a federal agent who's a troubleshooter. I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure. This is War. Standard Comics. Standard, sometimes known as Better Comics, sometimes known as Nedor Publications. They used all of those brands. This is War number 6. And this isn't too bad. This is obviously during the Korean War. It's kind of, the coloring's kind of okay. It's not quite so racially insensitive as a lot of books of this era would be. Police Comics, and here's Ken Shannon. We saw him just a moment ago. He starred in, oh, look at this. This is all retaped together. Oh, and look how old that tape is. Oh, my God. That's pretty gross. But Police Comics is, of course, the quality comics title that Plastic Man started out in. But by this point, towards the end of the run, number 108, superheroes were way passé. Let's take a look. I bet there's not a single superhero in here. No superheroes. There's Handsome Hogan. What else we got here? Handsome Hogan. And there's T-Man. We're just talking about T-Man. Boom, boom, boom. Inspector Denver. Bob Denver? That would be... Maybe John Denver? I don't know. A John Denver, Bob Denver team-up. How come we never got that? That would have been a great successor to Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Instead of crooning Dean Martin and bumbling Jerry, you could have had country singing John and bumbling Bob. Okay. Patsy Walker. Yeah, there you go. So a little Hellcat for you. Way, way, way before her Hellcat period. So Patsy is, in fact, the most venerable character in the entire Marvel universe. Or really, I mean, Captain America, Human Torch, Submariner all appeared before her, but she appeared not too long after they did, and stayed active all through the 50s and 60s. And then as Hellcat, 70s and 80s, into today. There's Margie, not my little Margie, just a different Margie. There's Jeannie, not the TV Jeannie, but Look, what has somebody done here? So this is Archie Comics. This is Wilbur, a long forgotten... well, I don't know that Wilbur ever actually crossed over with any of the Archie gang. But he's long past his prime. I don't think we've ever seen him in Riverdale in recent years. But look what somebody's done here. They've taken a pencil and they've colored in this nurse. Just 'cause, I guess. All right. Real Clue crime stories. But who will I say? Doesn't matter, sister. Oh my goodness. Inside Truth About Crime. This is Hillman Publications. Hillman, most famous for Airboy. Margie's little Lulu. Having fun with the... and she even sharpened it. It's a good thing she didn't cut her lips off with that sharp lipstick. This is actually a 4-color book. 4-color number 158. A lot of water staining here, though. And Little Lulu doesn't do well for us, so that's going to be like a $2 book. And then finally, last book in the box, and I believe this is a Marvel book. Marvel books of this period tended to be a lot thinner. I believe they were printed at the Eastern Color Press at this time. Eastern Color, of course, was the outfit that did Famous Funnies, the first regular comic book. But they were thinner. Pretty sure this is Marvel. Sometimes hard to tell. But that's Nellie the Nurse. So that is what we used to call a working girl comic, but then working girl came to mean something else. So now we refer to this genre as the career girl. And that's it. So I started a little rough on that box, but by golly, we saw some cool and interesting stuff at the end. So I'm glad you were here. I had fun. I hope you had fun. Come back tomorrow. We'll do it all again. If not an unboxing, a grading, something. And until next time, goodbye, good luck, and please, be good to each other.